Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff and Amanda Anisimova give their opinions on playing best-of-5 sets. Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff and Amanda Anisimova have spoken about the prospect of the best-of-5 set format being introduced for women's matches at Grand Slams. Men play best-of-5 set matches at the 4 Grand Slams, while women play best-of-3 set matches. Australian Open Tournament director Craig Tiley sparked debate by calling for the longer format to be used from the quarterfinals onwards at women's majors. One of the things I've been saying now is that I think there should be 3 out of 5 sets for women, Tiley told AAP. We should look at the last few matches, the quarters and the semis and the finals, and make the women's side 3 out of 5. So it's something we should put on the agenda and start talking to the players about it, because there's some matches in those last rounds which would have been fascinating had they been 3 out of 5 sets. Now I don't know whether the players would want to do it or not, but it is something we need to consider on the women's side. Want more from Tennis 365? Add us as a preferred source on Google to your favorites list for tennis coverage you can trust. What did Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff and Amanda Anisimova say about playing best-of-5 set matches? Swiatek, Gauff and Anisimova, all of whom are top 5 players on the WTA Tour, were asked about playing best-of-5 set matches during the Qatar Open in Doha. Here is what they said. I think with the world right now that is kind of like speeding up, I don't really think it makes sense for us to play such long matches. Especially when I think it would be tough to keep the quality up throughout the whole match. But if you ask specifically about my game, I consider myself one of the players that is kind of tough in coping with endurance and longer matches. I think maybe I would have some advantage. Honestly, I've never played such a long match, so I have no idea how my body would react. I think also the whole season would change, because we would need to plan everything differently and prepare for these long matches. There would, for sure, be many more questions about the scheduling then. I mean, could I play best-of-5 sets? Probably. Do I want to? I mean, it's a lot of playing. I don't know. I feel like, from a spectator's standpoint, it would be just too much for the men and women to play best-of-5. Anisimova, I mean, we've always played best-of-3, so I feel like that would be a crazy change for us. Also very physical on a woman's body. So yeah, I prefer to obviously play 3 sets for sure. Read next. Amanda Anisimova set for WTA rankings blow after shock retirement ends Doha title defense beyond 3 sets. Swiatek, Gauff, and Anisimova on the future of women's tennis. The clatter of tennis balls against rackets echoes across the stadium, a rhythm familiar yet ever-changing, much like the sport itself. For decades, men and women in tennis have competed under different set structures, best-of-5 for men in Grand Slam events, and best-of-3 for women. But the conversation has been intensifying. Should women play best-of-5 sets in majors? 3 of the brightest young stars on the WTA Tour, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, and Amanda Anisimova, share their thoughts on this topic, each offering a lens into their mindset, strategy, and ambition. Iga Swiatek. It's about endurance, not just skill. Iga Swiatek, the 2020 French Open champion, has dominated clay courts with a combination of tactical intelligence and athletic resilience. Known for her disciplined preparation and analytical approach, she views the best-of-5 debate through the prism of endurance and mental toughness. When you play best-of-5, tennis becomes a marathon, Swiatek explains. It's not only about hitting the ball well or executing your strategy. It's about staying focused, maintaining energy, and making adjustments over a longer period. Swiatek acknowledges the physical demands, but she doesn't see them as insurmountable. We already train incredibly hard. If we condition our bodies correctly, if we approach it smartly, I don't see why we can't handle it. She also touches on the mental element. Best-of-5 matches would test patience and adaptability. Sometimes, you start slow, lose a set, and need to recover both physically and psychologically. That could be exciting for fans because it tells a bigger story. For Swiatek, the idea isn't just about equality with men, it's about deepening the narrative of women's tennis. I think it could bring a new dimension to the sport. It would reward resilience, not just moments of brilliance. Coco Gauff. It's fun, but it's a big step. Coco Gauff, the teenage phenom who electrified the tennis world with her breakthrough at Wimbledon, takes a more cautious stance. Gauff, at just 18 when she reached the top 10, has already experienced the pressure of long, high-stakes matches. "I think best of 5 could be really fun," Gauff says with a grin, recalling her marathon matches against top opponents. "You get more time to fight back, more opportunities to show your strengths. But it's also a big step physically. Recovery becomes harder, especially in tournaments where you play several days in a row." Gauff is practical, highlighting how the WTA calendar and the intensity of modern tennis could complicate the transition. "We play a lot of tournaments. Adding longer matches could make it tougher on the body. But if the Grand Slams decide to do it, I'd adapt. I love a challenge." Her excitement stems from opportunity. Imagine a 5-setter at the US Open or Roland Garros. The energy in the stadium, the suspense for fans, it would be incredible. And for players, it's a chance to push limits and prove mental strength. I think it could create some legendary matches. Amanda Anisimova. It's about respect for the sport. Amanda Anisimova, the 22-year-old American with a fearless baseline game, brings a different perspective. For her, the debate isn't merely about physical capability, it's about perception and respect for women's tennis. "I feel like women are sometimes underestimated," Anisimova begins. "People say, women can't handle best of 5. But that's not true. We can. It's about training, mindset, and preparation." Anisimova supports the idea as a statement of equality. It sends a message that women's tennis is equally competitive and exciting. "I've played tough 3-set matches that felt like 5. If we can handle that intensity in 3 sets, we can handle it in 5. She also notes the tactical dimension. In a 5-set match, there's more room to experiment and make adjustments. You can fight back after a bad set, try different strategies, and really test your opponent. That depth could elevate the game. However, Anisimova adds a cautionary note. It's not just about lengthening matches. It has to be done thoughtfully. Recovery, scheduling, and player health have to be considered. But if those things are addressed, I'm all for it. Shared insights. What all three agree on despite their individual styles and perspectives, Swiatek, Gauff, and Anisimova converge on a few key points. Physical preparation is crucial. All three recognize that best-of-5 matches demand peak physical conditioning. They already incorporate strength, endurance, and recovery protocols into their routines, but extending matches would require even more precise management of energy.